Unless you are from China. No?
I'm from a place more famous for drinking tea than growing it, so. Well, thank you, Alexi, not just for that nice introduction, but also for organising these events. They're very cool. You're a cool dude, so thank you. And I feel like before we get started, I need to just let you know I'm not actually a comedian. It's important to manage your expectations, and it will probably become very apparent during this next 5 minutes or so. Anyway, but no, I'm not actually a comedian. I'm just cheap. Because when they said you could get in for free if you came up on the stage for 5 minutes, I thought, yep, that's me. I'm going to save myself €6. And I know it's not a lot of money, but everything is so expensive these days. I mean, food, fuel, utilities, everything is so expensive. And it's only getting more expensive. The way things are going, I can barely afford to keep up my superiority complex for much longer. Now, yeah, I do have a bit of a superiority complex. It is completely undeserved, and I hope that you won't hold it against me. But a bit of a superiority complex. I'm not a comedian, but I did used to be a flight attendant. And might not think it to look at me now, but I was. And maybe it makes more sense when I tell you it was with British Airways. But it was quite a while ago. But on my flights, I can tell you I was usually the prettiest, often the slimmest, and usually the least bearded as well. So I can tell you that, I'm being cruel, there were lots of very beautiful flight attendants with Virgin Airlines. It was a fun career. And they even teach you in the training school how to become more condescending to passengers. No, they do. They don't call it that. They call it customer service training, but it's more or less the same thing. And I can even remember when they teach you how to do these role plays, and they did one for boarding the aircraft. It went a bit like this. Welcome on board, sir. Madam, do you know where you're sitting? No? Let me take a look at your boarding cards there, where the seat numbers are very clearly printed. Oh, no surprises here. You're sitting right down the back. So if you'd like to cross over and turn right, just keep going until you basically run out of aircraft. Enjoy your flight. You will probably be more comfortable. Well, your luggage is probably more comfortable than you'll be, but who knows where that will end up. That was part of the joy of working for British Airways. And it was a fun job. I don't know how I ever got it. I'm very glad that I did. I don't really like talking about my past career all that much because people always there's a lot of stereotypes, People always make a lot of assumptions like, all the guys are gay and bitchy and snobby and alcoholic and massive sluts. And it's really unfair. I am not an alcoholic. But yeah, when you tell people you used to be a flight attendant, there's always one thing that everyone wants to know. Celebrities. And you don't want to know who was nice, do you? No. You want to know who was an absolute asshole on the planes. That's what you want to hear about. Well, if you want to hear those stories, buy me a drink afterwards and I'll tell you. But what I can tell you is, I don't think she'll listen to this or see it, but I might be responsible for causing Dame Shirley Bassey to relapse. And for those of you who are like, who the fuck is Dame Shirley Bassey? If you've never heard of her, you probably have at least heard of James Bond, right? Everyone knows who James Bond is. She famously sung 3 James Bond film theme tunes. She sang Goldfinger, she sang Diamonds Are Forever, she sang Moonraker. Most people only remember the first two because Moonraker was shit. Sorry about that, but it kind of was. But yeah, Dame Shirley Bassey was on a flight to Nice, and I used to do a lot of flights to Nice on my short-haul days. So she came on the plane, and she was wearing this enormous hat. I mean, it's had the biggest wide brim I've ever seen on a hat, casting shade with a 5-meter radius around her. And she had these huge sunglasses on as well. So she didn't want people to recognize her as a celebrity, and she was traveling under a very obviously fake name. So she came on the plane. Obviously, it was Shirley Bassey. She takes a seat, and I went up. Let's just say, she had a bit of a reputation for being prickly, if I'm being nice. She had a bit of a reputation for being difficult. And because I love my divas, I wanted to impress her, so I was determined to win her over. So I went up and said, Dame Shirley, can I get you anything to drink? And she said, no, I'm fine. So I said, how about a nice gin and tonic? And she grabbed my hand and said, oh, darling, I love you. So I said, I'll make it a double. And so I kept the drinks coming. And she would see me quite often on those flights to Nice, and I'd always get her a gin and tonic, and she was always very lovely to me. A while later, I was telling another cabin crew member about this, and she went and grabbed a copy of OK magazine. I don't know if that's still a thing, but one of those celebrity gossip mags, you know? And she came over and she opened it up to the back of the magazine, and there in the back was an article about Dame Shirley celebrating with one of her dear friends just having successfully completed rehab for alcohol dependency. So Dame Shirley, if this ever gets to you, I am sorry, but if you ever ask me for a gin and tonic, I will still bring you one. So, yeah, I don't know how I ever got to be cabin crew, but I'm very glad that I did. Dame Shirley might also be very glad that I did. But I'm going to go and spend that €6 that I saved on the entry fee now and order myself a large gin and tonic in honour of Dame Shirley Bassey. Thank you.